You might have heard the old saying, hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. And you can probably guess from the title of the video which part of the quote we're living in right now. Men are at their weakest in modern society, so much so that testosterone, the very male hormone, has been at a decline. But what could be the cause? Why are men weaker now than they were, let's say, 100 years ago? Is it the near limitless and instant access to adult content, social media, or even society itself trying to push masculinity to extinction by labeling every masculine act as toxic masculinity? While these reasons are a key factor as to why men are weaker these days, they're not the cause itself. You see, for the longest period of time for a man to change from a boy to a man, he had to be a warrior. A man needed adversity, and he needed to conquer said adversity in order to mature. No, I don't just mean a physical war, it could even be conquering himself in some way. But men nowadays haven't even seen a battle in their lives, much less a war. The masculine attributes that all men had are lost to men of today. They have no purpose, no ambition, no goals, nothing. They become so complacent with the hand that they've been dealt that they have no desire to push themselves. No desire to get out of their comfort zone. What a sad state of affairs. But all is not lost. There are still some men left that possess the masculine attributes necessary to be a man. And if you're here, watching this now, you are, or you could be, one of them. So what are these masculine attributes, you might ask? The first and foremost has to be courage. Now let me tell you the difference between toxic masculinity and real masculinity. Toxic masculinity is the mindset that true men cannot feel fear at all. That's not the case. True men do feel fear. They feel fear just like any other person. But what separates a strong man from a weak man is courage. The power to face his fears head on. The power to get back up, no matter how many times life knocks you down. Remember, history favors the daring. Cast aside those doubts and conquer your fears. Strength, probably the most obvious one. Men are built stronger than women for a reason. And yes, I know that there are some women whose strength is extraordinary, but in general, an average man is much stronger than the average woman. Now, this strength is given to us for a reason. In the primal days of humanity, men were the ones that went out into the wilds. Men were the hunters, the fighters, the protectors of their tribes. So it's no surprise that a man has to be strong. Hard work and ambition. There is a reason a man's prime is much older than a woman's. If we were to look at things from the perspective of the species as a whole, a woman starts to lose her key trait, her fertility, by the time she reaches 25, whereas a man's prime has just begun. It's also a reason many women prefer older, more experienced men. Logic and rationality. A masculine man is not just all brawn and no brain. Contrary to what gym bros might think, wisdom, intellect, and rationality are also one of the most important features of being a man. The device you're watching this video on, whether it's a computer, a laptop, or a phone or tablet, whatever it is, have you ever stopped and thought about what's happening right now as you watch this video? The phone in your hand, the monitor you're looking at, these are all just a bunch of metals. Carbon, silicon, aluminum, copper. Just metals. It's the brilliance of the human mind that has developed and refined these metals into these amazing inventions we have now. If someone tells you that it is only strength that defines a man, then he himself is no man at all. Remember, men think with logic, not with emotion. That's a woman's job. The brilliant inventions I mentioned weren't created by listening to emotions. They were created with hard work and logic. So seek wisdom, seek intellect, self-sufficiency. This is pretty self-explanatory. If you're well in your mid-20s and still living with your parents, what are you even doing with your life? At least pay them rent. And if you don't have the money to pay rent, then go get a job. A man is only valuable to society if he provides value in one way or another. Remember, only women and pets are loved unconditionally, not men. Persistence and not giving up. This world is cruel. If you let it, it will beat you down and make sure that you can't get up. That's why as a man, you have to fight for your place in the world. Yes, you will be afraid at times. And yes, you are going to fail. No, this isn't a you might fail. This is the truth. You will fail at one point in your life. But you have to remember that that isn't the end. Get back up and fight. As a man, you have to be persistent and patient. Push through your failures. But remember, everyone moves at their own pace. If you see your fellow men achieving success earlier than you, don't be saddened. In fact, use this as kindling for your flame of ambition. Embrace competition. Competition has a lot of negative connotations surrounding it, but in fact, it's one of the most useful things to humanity as a species. Take the space race as an example. It was literally a competition between the Soviet Union and the United States to achieve superior space-flight capability. Think about it. If we didn't have competition, we would never have gone to space. Similarly, competition is also the driving force in men. Don't listen to society and shun competition. Instead, learn to embrace it. Welcome competition and strive to win. And remember, even if you lose, be a good sport and take your loss with dignity. These were some of the key attributes necessary to be a strong, masculine man. If you're interested in knowing more, be sure to hit subscribe. Like the video too, as it can help the video reach more men looking for a purpose and direction in life.